Making headlines this hour, Vice President conveys his greetings to the Vice President of India, Shri C.P. Radhakrishnan, the government and the people of India on its 77th Republic Day. Minister of Housing Dr. Abdullah Muttalib reiterates that housing schemes are not meant to be a resource for an individual's personal enrichment. And the new academic year begins on 27 January, marking the first time schools will start in January following a 4-year transition to a new academic year.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to PSM News in English with me, Hafiz Abdul Sattar. Now the news in detail. Vice President Hussain Mohammad Latif conveys his greetings to the Vice President of India, Shri C.P. Radhakrishnan, the government and the people of India on its 77th Republic Day. In a post on social media, the Vice President stated that India's constitutional journey as a republic holds many inspirational lessons for other countries. India became a republic on the 26th of January 1950. The Maldives and India have shared an enduring relationship built on close people-to-people ties, development partnerships and assistance along with cultural and knowledge sharing. The Vice President highlighted this close bond between the two countries by stating that Maldives and India have a long history of cooperating closely on issues of mutual concern. The Vice President expressed hope that the bond between the two nations can be strengthened going forward. The relationship between the Maldives and India predates the formal establishment of diplomatic ties on 1st November 1965. Historical trade relations laid the foundation for the partnership that has since evolved into a multifaceted alliance. Minister of Housing, Construction and Infrastructure, Dr. Abdullah Muttalib, reiterates that housing schemes are not meant to be a source for an individual's personal enrichment.
Housing Minister made the statement on a social media post addressing concerns from citizens regarding the government's housing schemes. The minister said that the government's housing initiatives are geared towards families that lack essential housing and are designed to ensure stability and dignity for them. Public housing must stabilize households, not accumulate assets, the minister said. Highlighting the government's Aile Bohiawa Hikang housing initiative, the minister said that those with nothing must be prioritized before those with something. He stressed that it is not a moral judgment, but rather an imperative taken to prevent the deepest foe of housing insecurity first. The minister further explained that public housing must prioritize households where instability has the widest social impact and not individuals, and as such, housing needs will be measured as such. If one family member holds a housing unit, then priority must be given to those families where no individuals holds a housing unit, he emphasized, stating that it is vital to reduce social inequality. Looking ahead, the minister revealed that as the government delivers social housing units, land plots, affordable ownership schemes and private sector housing, pressure on public housing will be reduced. At this point, the existing guidelines can be relaxed with the expansion of the eligibility criteria and more opportunities can be created. The government has officially rolled out its Landmark Housing for All scheme, opening applications for 15,000 land plots and 7,900 flats in the Greater Male region.
The new academic year begins on 27th January, marking the first time schools will start in January following a 4-year transition to a new academic calendar.
The shift culminates in a full-scale national preparations with over 77,000 students expected to start the new academic year in 218 government schools, all of which have been equipped with the necessary textbooks and teaching staff. This year's start is particularly notable as it includes the inaugural classes at the first school developed by the current government alongside the completion of several educational infrastructure. Enrollment figures highlight ongoing demographic trends, with around 1,500 students having moved from atolls to Male City. A total of 4,790 students have applied for Grade 1, with 3,042 applications originating from islands and 1,748 from schools in Male area. Transfer requests also indicate a movement of 1,530 students from the atolls to Male area schools and 836 from Male to schools in Hulu Male. To facilitate the education of this large student body, a robust force of 10,500 teachers has been deployed nationwide. This contingent comprises 8,000 local educators and 2,500 foreign teachers, all of who have been preparing their classrooms for the students' arrival. Education Minister Ismail Shafi also took the opportunity to praise the dedication of teachers and called for a whole-of-society effort to respect and honor their profession, encouraging parents to instill in their children a love and respect for their educators. The logistical groundwork for the school year, including the distribution of textbooks that began in December and a comprehensive teacher recruitment drive, has been finalized. With the academic year now anchored in January, students will look forward to their main holiday, which is scheduled to begin on 17th December. The academic year 2027 is already set to commence on 17th January, solidifying the new educational calendar for the foreseeable future.
The National Disaster Management Authority (NDMA) has launched the Damage Assessment and Loss Analysis DALA portal, marking a major step towards digitalizing disaster damage reporting and statistical management in the Maldives. The launch ceremony was graced by Minister of Homeland Security and Technology Ali Hassan and was attended by Minister of Defense Ghassan Maumon.
Developed under a United Nations Development Programme UNDP funding window, the DALA portal was created with assistance from Denmark, Luxembourg and South Korea. The platform aims to digitize NDMA operations and improve the collection and management of disaster-related information. The portal transforms the previously manual disaster management assessment process into a secure, integral digital system. It enables disaster information to be submitted online to relevant authorities and allows damage calculations and compensation processes to be completed through a single platform. Speaking after launching the portal at Hotel Jen, Minister Ali Hassan said the initiative aligns with President Dr. Mohamed Muizzu's Maldives 2.0 vision. He said that for a country like the Maldives, improving awareness and access to real-time information during emergencies is critical. He added that the national system now incorporates strong data collection and research capabilities, allowing the country to prepare for disasters rather than respond reactively. Speaking to the media following the ceremony, NDMA Chief Executive Hisan Hassan said the introduction of the DALA portal will fully digitize the authority's operations. He said the system will streamline the process of collecting disaster-related information and dispersing compensation, enabling affected individuals, local councils and relevant agencies to access all information from a single platform. He added that the system is expected to enhance public confidence in NDMA's work, noting that preparations to provide access to communities and collect data from islands have been completed. NDMA also confirmed that historical disaster data from the past 5 years has already been entered into the portal.
According to the Minister of Health, Abdullah Nazim Ibrahim, as part of the government's efforts to improve accessibility to health care for all citizens, dialysis services are now available across 10 islands in the archipelago.
Kidney disease is one of the most prevalent, non-transmissible diseases among Maldivians for which individuals seek overseas medical treatment. As such, the government has prioritized investment in facilities for dialysis within the country. Kidney patients typically require dialysis 2 to 3 times a week, with each session lasting about 4 hours. The government aims to expand dialysis service across all atolls by the end of the current term, with Dalo Atoll being the most recent atoll where the service was inaugurated. Speaking at the inauguration ceremony in Dalo Atoll, the health minister said the introduction of dialysis services will benefit residents of Kudahuadu and other islands in the atoll. He noted that the service will reduce the need for long-distance travel for treatment. He added that dialysis services have now been established in 10 islands over the past 2 years, with the government aiming to expand the service to all atolls during its current term. The minister also highlighted the challenges faced by kidney patients and their families in accessing these services and said that it is an imperative of the administration to ensure healthcare is accessible to all citizens. The minister also stated that establishment of dialysis service is a project that takes a considerable effort, pointing out the infrastructural development required, the machinery that is needed, and the training of staff. Many islands where the services is available now previously did not have trained staff to implement the dialysis service. However, with the government intervention, all these islands now have trained staff. The government has introduced peritoneal dialysis (PD), which is a home-based treatment that uses an assistive device for dialysis treatment. Currently, Vau Atoll and Phauph Atoll does not have access to dialysis services. The government projects that with the establishment of this service across all atolls, the burden of the healthcare services in the Greater Mali region will be alleviated, and it will further incentivize individuals to live in their native islands. The government's development plan is interlinked and planned meticulously, with upgrades in the transport sector such as the RTL to enhance accessibility of healthcare. Once dialysis services are made available in the Atoll Hospital, allowing residents from nearby islands to travel via the RTL services to access these services.
The Maldives Transport and Contracting Company (MTCC) pledges to complete a construction of a new hospital in Tuladu by Atoll by the end of this year, a project seen as vital to addressing long-standing gaps in health care provision across the region. The island's more than 3,100 residents have long voiced frustration over the absence of adequate medical facilities. In response to these concerns, the government launched the development of a modern hospital on 25th July 2023. The contract initially set an 18-month timeline for completion, but MTCC has considered that progress has been slower than anticipated owing to a range of impediments. The company has now committed to intensifying efforts to ensure the facility is delivered within the current year. MTCC said construction teams are presently engaged in masonry and cement plastering. The hospital, designed as a two-story structure, carries a project valuation of $8.05 million. Once completed, it will provide 30 beds and be equipped with contemporary medical resources. The project also includes a dedicated accommodation block within the hospital complex intended to support staff and operations. The hospital's completion is regarded as critical for Bai Atoll, a region distinguished by its concentration of luxury resorts but constraints by limited healthcare infrastructure. At present, the primary hospital serving the atoll is located on the island of Edafushi. Residents of Tuladu have long viewed the establishment of an additional hospital as a significant milestone in the island's development and one that will strengthen health care provision across the atoll. Patients in Tuladu requiring medical care are frequently compelled to travel to Edafushi or to the capital, Male. This reliance on distant facilities has imposed logistical challenges and considerable financial burdens, particularly when treatment abroad becomes necessary. China will work to boost domestic consumption in services while stepping up efforts to push consumers to buy more goods, and officials says in the latest move to address industrial overcapacity and reduce the economy's reliance on overseas demand.
China will, quote, nurture fresh growth areas in service consumption and grasp the trend of consumption upgrading, unquote, Vice Commerce Minister Yang Dong said at a news conference, citing potential growth areas including transportation, tourism, automotive, domestic services such as cleaning, and online services including live streaming. China will also optimize existing consumer goods trade-in programs to encourage people to buy goods such as cars and home appliances, Yang Mu, head of the Commerce Ministry's Department of Consumption Promotion, told the briefing. There will be an effort to support foreign invested enterprises in the push, Wang Ye, a Commerce Ministry official, added, including by supporting foreign invested companies in participating in government procurements and tenders.
A fire broke out after an explosion at a biscuit factory near the central Greek city of Trikala, killing 3 people and leaving another 2 missing, the fire brigade said.
Factory owner Violanta S.A. said the cause was unclear, according to a statement cited by the Athens news agency. A video released on Monday showed flames engulfing the factory with numerous emergency services vehicles at site. The buildings, the layout of the business park, and the fencing seen in the video matched file, satellite imagery, and routers footage of the area. The date when the video was recorded was verified by Reuters reports that the incident happened on Monday. 8 of 13 people at the factory managed to escape, while 3 bodies were recovered and another 2 people were missing, fire officials told Reuters. Investigators and disaster response units went to the scene. 6 people, including a firefighter, were treated at a local hospital, mainly for respiratory problems, but their lives were not at risk, the health minister Adonis Georgiadis told ERT News Radio.
The Maldives lift the trophy of the inaugural SAF Futsal Championship, emerging as champions of South Asian futsal.
The national team was presented with the trophy at a special ceremony held after the conclusion of the final match of the tournament. Maldives secured the championship by winning all of their matches in the competition, asserting dominance throughout the tournament. In their opening match, Maldives defeated Pakistan 7-1, followed by a 6-1 victory over Bangladesh. Then they went on to beat India 5-0 and Nepal 2-1. Maldives played Bhutan in the 5th match of the tournament, winning 4-1. The final match of the competition was won 5-2, completing an unbeaten run. The Maldives secured the championship title with their victory over Bhutan, with 1 match still remaining at the time. The team finished top of the table with 18 points from 6 matches. Maldives also recorded the highest number of goals scored in the tournament. The team's captain Mohammad Imran emerged as the tournament's top scorer, netting 9 goals. In addition, Maldives conceded the fewest goals in the competition, allowing only 6 goals throughout the tournament. This marks the first SAF Futsal Championship, and with their title victory, the Maldives have etched their name in golden letters in the history of regional futsal.
Jessica Pegula knocked out defending champion Madison Keys at the Australian Open on Monday as the American 6th seed secured a dominant 6-3, 6-4 victory to reach the quarterfinals at Melbourne Park for the 4th time.
Facing a close friend with whom she hosts the Players Box podcast, Pegula made a blistering start at Broad Laver Arena and only briefly let the momentum slip early in the match to remain on course for a first major title. 4th seed Amanda Anisimova maintained her Grand Slam momentum by beating China's Wang Xingyu 7-6-4, 6-4 to reach her first Australian Open quarterfinal, where she will face fellow American Pegula. The hard-hitting 24-year-old has been in imperious form at Melbourne Park this year and has not dropped a set as she bids for a first major title after runner-up finishes at Wimbledon and the US Open in 2025. Anisimova struggled to find her range in a tight first set. However, as Wang, spurred on by a vocal contingent of Chinese fans, held her own in the early exchanges and saved a set point before her American opponent won the tiebreak. In the men's contest, 5th seed Lorenzo Musetti produced an inspired display to ease past American Taylor Fritz 6-2, 7-5, 6-4 at Broad Laver Arena and reached the Australian Open quarterfinals for the first time, setting up a meeting with 10 times champion Novak Djokovic. The Italian came through a 5-set battle with Tomasz Machasz in the last round but it did not appear to have taken much out of him as he broke Fritz's big serve twice in the opening set. Musetti played with authority and artistry towards the end of the second set, which he secured by winning 3 straight games before breaking early in the third set to heap the pressure on the American. 9th seed Fritz, who was moved all over the court by his 23-year-old opponent, dug deep to stay in touch, but Musetti served out the victory in style for a tantalizing meeting with 24 times major champion Djokovic.
A nearly 2-year-old Indo-Pacific leopard shark, known for its distinctive spotted pattern, has been released into the clear waters of Milton Island, 9 kilometers southeast of Phuket, marking a milestone in Thailand's efforts to restore the endangered species.
Once common in Thai waters, leopard sharks have declined sharply due to fishing bycatch, overfishing, and habitat loss, including mangrove destruction and coral reef degradation. The species is now listed as endangered by the International Union for Conservation of Nature. The release is part of the STAR Project Thailand, the Stegostoma tigrinum Augmentation and Recovery Project, led by conservation group ReShark and run under WildAid and Ocean Blue Tree in collaboration with Thai government agencies, aquariums, and marine conservation organizations. The program successfully released 7 leopard sharks in 2025. Each shark is fitted with an acoustic tag, allowing researchers to monitor movement and survival. 20 underwater receivers have been deployed across Panga Bay in Upper Andaman Sea, with data collected every 2 to 4 months. Before release, the sharks undergo extensive preparation. After being bred and raised in aquariums for about a year, they are transferred to the Phuket Marine Biological Center for behavioral conditioning, where they develop natural foraging skills. They are then moved to a sea pen near Milton Island, spending around 8 months adapting to natural conditions. 2 days before release, marine veterinarians from the Department of Marine and Coastal Resources conducted final health checks, including ultrasound examinations, DNA sampling, and the fitting of tracking devices. Leopard sharks play a vital role in maintaining marine ecosystem balance by controlling prey populations and are also a draw for divers. However, widespread coral bleaching in the early 2010s further reduced their ability to sustain wild breeding populations. Private aquariums, including Aquaria Phuket, currently the only facility in Thailand breeding leopard sharks under controlled conditions, are playing a key role in the recovery effort. Metavi stressed that long-term success depends not only on releasing sharks, but on protecting their habitats, reducing pollution, and improving marine resource management.
And that's all we have for this hour. Thank you for watching. Wish you all a very pleasant time ahead.